Hello, it's the Sorcerer King stream, aka the Stardock stream, aka it's 2015, and let's talk about sweet strategy games. I'm Adam. That's Scott.
Hi.
We are live theoretically, or so XSplit tells me. All these new XSplit updates have me confused, and it's complaining about dropped frames. So God only knows what they're doing.
Let us know how it's looking on your end,
Please do.
but only if it's okay.
So anyway, it's 2015. It's Sorcerer King. We have an internal build today.
We do. It is a fresh internal build. I was kind of sweating as I was pulling it off the network, but it's super fresh. It has the campaign. I'm not going to show you the campaign because I am a jerk. But I will show you the Tinkerer, the last of our 6 sovereigns that you will get to play as. And then he starts with somebody without a without a picture, but it's Drogon, the Dwarf Lord, and he is an ass kicker and lots of fun. So
Nice.
we'll start it up.
Does he get the super OP crushing blow ability?
I don't know if he does. He just all I know is that
That is
you
my
just
favorite OP
you just
ability.
waste with him. And right now he is the only guy that you get as the Tinkerer.
Oh, really?
And we're kind of thinking about like what if that would be an interesting, differentiation for the Tinkerer. Be like you only get one guy, but he's pretty crazy.
Totally.
So playing around with that, but you can kind of see him. I'll run him around. He is a dual axe wielding dwarf, which is and he is a mohawk, which is cool. We also have new lighting for you, amongst other new things. New year, new lighting is my motto. Is that a good motto? That's not a good motto. But we have new new lighting direction, harsher shadows. Basically, trying to get everything to pop. We're starting to put the like world props in, kind of give a little bit more visual variance, slight visual variance to the ground.
Yeah, the vines on the Shadowlands make a huge difference.
We're kind of tweaking, trying to improve all of the non-grassland areas, so the vines are actually kind of the forest of the Shadowlands. They will. The idea right now is that, they'd basically be the forest of the Shadowlands. Give something to look at besides black ashy expanses. And let's actually start playing. Pioneer first. Is that right?
You do.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sometimes I Pioneer first. It's a little bit of a risk though, because sometimes you don't have anywhere good to stick him. And
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm torn between Pioneer and Scout first. To be
That's
honest.
true. I made this map though, so I know where to stick him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's not good. That's cheating. Somehow that's cheating. Actually, I think that's the definition of cheating.
See, I'm all for. I think it would be really interesting to show more things on the map, and this is a drum I've been banging internally for a little while, and I don't know if it's going to go anywhere or not. But to show some of the intermediate goals that you have on the map, right? To show, like strongholds and city sites and lieutenants and that kind of thing, to get players to to kind of surface those things so that you know, oh yeah, I have to go over there, because you can really screw yourself if you scout like the wrong direction.
Yeah,
Can be really problematic.
One of the things I'll come back around to that for the Tinker specifically in a little bit. A lot of new Sorcerer King interactions. So I'm actually gonna play this one out. You're one of the last channelers alive in the world.
We had a question in the chat from Bitterbeard. Can we play the beta yet? You absolutely can. We're in early access.
Yep.
Anybody who buys Sorcerer King on the pre-order through Steam gets to play the beta. And updating regularly. This is what you see now is not actually live. This is an internal build because it has not been tested at all. It's not even ready to be a beta update.
Yeah, no, this is like 2 days. We've only been back for a couple of days, so.
Although Brad was banging on it for much of
he was. He was a busy boy.
So this will be, I think this is late January, early February. We'll be getting this out into your hands, and then we'll be launching later in the spring. into our 1.0.
Yeah, I don't think we've announced a beta 4 date, and even internally, I think we keep going back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be in a little bit anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, beta 4 is when you'll get all the sovereigns. I think you get sovereign customization, maybe. I don't know. Lots of stuff going in beta 4.
Indeed. Another question from Sigvarder. Is this mechanically a sequel to Legendary Heroes? Not really. It's more of like we think of it as an offshoot of kind of Legendary Heroes, right? Because you'll definitely notice that there are some mechanical similarities, right? Units have the same stats, the combat math works the same way, but all the decisions you make are very different, and the structure of the game is very different, right? So you are defending the world against the Sorcerer King rather than trying to build up an empire against evenly matched rivals. Is kind of the elevator pitch. What ends up happening in Sorcerer King is that it ends up being a race to make the most awesome stack of doom full of heroes and super awesome units, because you can equip your units and make them super powerful, to get your stack of doom and send them into the Shadowlands and stop the Sorcerer King and try to stop him. Wow, that was a loud sound effect.
Sorry.
So
sorry. Turn that down.
So anyway, you end up like sacrificing everything to pump up the stack of doom to basically send. It's like if the Fellowship of the Ring, instead of like sending Frodo to go dance around and have some feels like with Sam.
Is that what you got out of the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Hey, I'm marketing here.
Okay? I hear you. Okay, I'm on board.
Instead of that, you are like just banding together the most awesome heroes, and you're like, you know what, Gandalf? It's time to take off. It's time to stop with the robe and put on some plate mail and go ruin everything.
Mm-hmm. Get the hobbits out of your party. Get in.
That's right. Yeah. Seeing some people complaining about a choppy stream in the comments. I apologize. I don't know what to really do about that. I mean, we should be fine. As far as our settings go, we might be having some Twitch issues.
He does get it. I just crushing blowed the hell out of that.
Excellent.
No, that's what I'm telling this guy. This guy's so cool. And that's why I think it could be fun. I don't know. We have to play with him a little bit more to see if it's a valid, sacrifice to make as the Tinker. You only have that one guy. Man, I'm just destroying it.
Nice. Yes. People asking if Brad is going to be here today. We have no Brad today. Brad is actually, I think, literally coding more Sorcerer King right now as we speak.
Yes, and he's working with the Galciv 3 team.
Oh yes.
Lots of stuff. So much going on.
Stuff in the
so much going on.
So we have to content ourselves with Scott.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Sorry.
And me instead of Kristen. And it's all terrible. No, I'm excited to be back on the stream. I like doing the stream. I had to miss a couple there at the end of the year, but should be back for the foreseeable future, for which I am either excited or should apologize for the years. I'm not really sure.
I know. I love Brad streams just because I will be in the editor. I'll be in the code, and as problems pop up, I get so much done in that 1 hour listening to him, point out the problems.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right.
Gilmore says that Trog archers can one-shot hobbits. That is probably totally true. Trog archers kind of shoot the hell out of a lot of things. I got big problems with Trog archers, which is, probably just because I tend to spec all my dudes for all offense all the time, which is a valid choice. I feel like I should say the best defense is a suicidal offense, as we all know, which I think is why I love the Tyrant so much. But there you go. If anybody has any degrees they could send our way, that would be wonderful. By the way, we have no degrees here in the Midwest. It is ridiculously cold. Like, my office is seriously like 45 degrees today. It's insane.
My gosh.
It is so freaking cold.
Yeah, it's going to be a big fat donut tomorrow, so get excited for that.
And see, I move away from Minnesota, and a year later, all I do is complain. This is ridiculous. Anyway, so speaking of Sorcerer King.
Yes.
Walk me through the Dwarf Lord. What other awesome things does he do?
Everything that a dwarf does right now. He's the remaining. You caught me off guard, man. He's the last hero to be hooked up. So,
okay.
While the Tinker has, oh man, he's so good. Yeah, that's what's kind of cool is just even without being upgraded or without a special tree, he's. Just look at him. Let's play with the camera.
While Scott's doing that, so we actually have interesting visuals on the stream for once. I'm terrible about asking questions and then dooming the visuals and everything. He does look kind of awesome though. I like his mohawk.
Yeah, look at the shimmer of the.
Oh yeah.
Actually, we should probably give him less crazy looking weapons to start off with.
Then maybe save that for an upgrade.
Yeah.
Man, you have no idea how much moving the camera in that angle drives me nuts when I'm trying to take screenshots.
It's tough.
Ugh.
But when you get a good screenshot,
it is all worth it. Let's see. When are the crafting changes coming? Asks Devil.
They are almost done.
Are they going to be in beta 4?
Yeah. Yes.
Sweet.
They will be in beta 4. Actually, so a lot of the Tinker stuff relies on that, so they kind of go hand in hand. It's not in this build, but it's coming. Sorry, I gotta.
It's all right. It's all right. So yeah. So beta 4, awesome. See, I learn things every day when I do the stream, which is why I should be doing the stream. Game is allowed compared to our voices. Can you turn it down? I can certainly do that. Blow. All right. Let's see. When is that beta dropping? Is the other question. We had that earlier in the stream. I think Double Dog hadn't joined us yet. We haven't announced a specific date yet. It'll be,
and end of this month. Yeah.
End of this month, end of January, early February, something like that. Just depends on how it goes, and how much Brad insists on shoving into the game, how many features he makes us implement for you, because he drives us like.
He loves you and hates us.
That's right. I think that's basically the takeaway on that one.
Let's see.
Allstein suggests fielding that really old Galciv 2 build that caused laptops to burst into flame to heat the office. It's not a bad idea. I don't know. I can take no responsibility for nuking.
I remember that situation. That was rough.
Not ideal. All right. Gilmoy is full of questions and is tagging Stardock in the chat, which I always appreciate. Chat's a little slow today because everyone's cold or something. But when chat gets moving, it's hard for me to catch up with your questions. Once people get a little chatty in there. So if you tag at Stardock in the chat like Gilmoy is doing there, super helpful just for me. So and it helps. It makes your question more likely to get answered. Put it that way. So let's see. Gilmoy says the Doom stack strategy dovetails with a thread on the forums regarding balance. Are monster encounters scaled in strength to match your Doom stack, or will they be completely boring for a Doom stack to wade through? That's an interesting question. I don't know that we are like specifically looking at the strength of your like hero stack or anything in terms of what we're putting out there. That's all like what the strength of stuff that gets spawned is based on a lot of factors.
Yeah,
which are more map wide, more so than like looking at your specific stacks.
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware.
There's that threat level. Is it in here?
Oh, it's in the. Oh, I don't know. Did they get moved? Yeah,
threat level of the Sorcerer King. So right now I have a threat level of none, and as you go up in strength, that threat level increases.
And that's more armies and stuff. Ultimately, I think the ultimate answer is probably it depends on difficulty level, it depends on how you're doing in the game, it depends on a lot of things, and I mean ultimately it has to be beatable, right? So like it should be beatable but challenging is the ideal.
Yeah, the idea. Yeah, you're gonna have ideally that stack is gonna have a rough time getting to the Sorcerer King to stage that final fight.
And that final fight, by the way, tons of stuff going on with that you haven't seen yet.
Yes.
By the way, so
there's so much the Sorcerer King can do to you at the strategic level that.
And there's a lot too, like that isn't implemented, like Sorcerer King spellcasting you guys haven't seen yet. Like that's gonna have a big impact. Lots of abilities getting added. I don't think the tactical AI revamp is in the public build yet.
No,
that's huge. Like Brad, I don't know if Brad talked about this on the stream yet, but like Brad literally found a bug in the tactical AI that was like skipping most of the heuristics.
Yeah.
Meaning that it was just like it was nerfing itself, and it was very silly. And so the tactical AI should be much more sophisticated next time you guys see it. So when this beta drops, you should see monsters doing much tougher things. So it shouldn't be as exploitable, for one thing. It should. So that'll help. I mean, it's ultimately it's just a question of balance, right? Like if it's.
I didn't get the shard.
Dude.
I've been playing.
Oh my god.
Okay. So that is okay. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no,
that's
okay.
something that comes up.
You need to get the shard, Scott.
Yeah.
You need to build the shard.
But yes,
I actually like. We need. I seriously. One of the things that I feel strongly about is we need to improve the new player experience by a lot. Like we need to make sure that new players understand this is a shard. You need to build on it. This is a city site. You need to put a city here. These are monsters. You need to put outposts so that they shoot
I know
the
we have the
like,
ability, like in Elemental, what we do is as you can. Actually, I think this kind of taps into it. Oh, it doesn't even show me that. But we used to have like little exclamation points over things that are important. You know, just some sort of call out to, hey, check this thing out. It's vital. You know, don't go 10 turns without tapping this, you silly boy.
Right. For instance, I still think you should have notifications. I think the notifications need to be a lot more engaged. I love that we have them, but I miss them all the time, and I know that they're there. So I feel sorry for the newbies who just have no idea that they're there, and then they get crushed. Let's see.
This Archon quest needs to be nerfed, because apparently if you get the Archon early enough, it's just like a win. Yeah. He's the you win guy.
Yep.
Oh. Here's the Tinker tree. We can talk about this now.
Oh yeah.
So there's a couple of things right off the bat that you can get as the Tinker. Enchanted maps. So if you get a bunch of birch scrolls, you get a whole bunch of enchanted maps will give you something to do with your scrolls if you're looking for the lieutenants, if you're looking for shards, so you can create a champion map, a crystal map, or a map of nations. I think there's another map in there actually. But based on what you're interested in finding, if I'm interested in finding shards, I make a couple of crystal maps, use them, and they will show me where the shards are out there, or the lieutenants, or whatever. So it gives you kind of a way to not just scout out in the wrong direction.
Sweet.
And then scroll masters and thrifty potioneers.
Potioneers?
Yeah, we're still working on the verbiage. Basically, if you find yourself using a bunch of scrolls, you find yourself using a bunch of potions, these will save those core ingredients. So if you're a thrifty potioneer and you drink a mana potion, it's going to save the bottle. So you don't have to worry about restocking that loot. Same thing with scrolls. Your scroll gets saved when you're a scroll master. And then clairvoyance amulets. We ripped out the clairvoyance tree entirely.
Hooray!
So that's something just for him. But instead, you now can make these clairvoyance amulets, put them on your heroes, and that's how you get more spell casts, is by crafting an item and equipping it to your guys. So it may be a little bit harder to build that up, but the end result is you can have up to like 12 spell casts, which I don't think anybody else technically can.
That would be a fair number, yes.
So that's pretty fun. And then some other things up here. Loot mining. Resources that you've tapped will start spitting out goodie huts that you can...
That's awesome.
That you can grab.
I literally have not seen the Tinker yet, so...
Yeah, lots of stuff. Yeah, so let's see.
Nice.
Skilled craftsman. So right off the bat, you can get an extra enchantment slot that ties into the new crafting system. I'm actually going to do the enchanted maps because I want to see where some stuff is.
Alchemist, apothecary, anything else? Then potion. People are making fun of potioneers.
Oh, that's because you did.
Well, hey, I am a leader. I am a leader of men, Scott. That's how it works. How does a Doomstack survive 5 SK blizzards? That's a good question. Probably not very well.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't think that the SK is probably going to blizzard you 5 times in a row. Yeah. We have some ideas around how the SK spellcasting is going to work. It's not going to literally just be, haha, you lose, because that's not very fun. Yeah. Like you'll have some ability to affect his spellcasting and some ability to react to it without just straight up getting blown up. So... Let's see. Oh, will the town aura spells really give +2 initiative per essence? Can we really truly get riders with +18 initiative? I feel like that might be more of a map bug than anything else, because like there are city sites that are just generating ridiculous amounts of essence right now. I don't know. We might have to cap it. Because like they do get totally insane because you have all those essence slots. You can cast like every single unit buff or unit creation buff on the city and get really truly stupid troops out of it.
Yeah, I worry that I think it's just a matter of too much essence.
I feel like it's too much essence
should
as well.
really be
a couple per city. Like 3 should be a lot.
I think 5 was the max in FE, or maybe
in
6?
LH. In LH 3.
In LH it was 3.
I'm pretty sure it was 3.
Wow.
Because then you could, or maybe very occasionally 4, like in like a wildland or something. Yeah, I think there were like some really one-off city sites you could get 4, and then if you were Paradin, obviously you could build the Oracle or whatever it is. So let's see. Are you going to be making any mounted units that don't require iron? I don't know. I think I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it seems like a valid point.
Certainly, if you have any issues with like resource balance or usefulness of resources, that's definitely stuff that we're going to be taking a hard look at over the next couple months until release. So I would say, make a thread on the forums. We read those too. Let's see. Is beta 4 the last beta before release? Probably. There might be another,
what we'll probably end up doing is rounding up some of the more vocal folks on the forums to do a couple of release candidate tests.
Sure.
So that's where we start get some really hard feedback on things that we kind of want to tuck away, like the campaign.
Sure.
Most people won't get it until gold, whereas it would be, we get a small group of people to check it out.
My God, you made that a truly ridiculous city site in this map that you made. Wow. Sorry. I was just I was actually watching on the stream, so it was several seconds behind, and I saw the icon, the resource yields, and there's a lot of them. Anyway, I'm just saying that you're cheating is all by making yourself a ridiculous map and giving yourself the frickin' Archon. Oh my God.
I didn't cheat that guy. That was that was a random placement. Okay.
So let's see. Will you be able to play as a mythical duck sorcerer who wants to turn the world into a giant pond to erase humanity and let the duck race take their rightful place as rulers of the world?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's DLC probably.
DLC. That sounds like April 1st DLC.
I'm in favor of it, but you remember the forums exploding when we put in bunny slippers in LA.
Yeah, that may not be canon.
It may not be. The canon. Yeah, we have a whole division here at Stardock that makes sure that the canon is kept. It's like LucasArts basically. Let's see. I'm getting nasty buffering. I think that's either Twitch or your downstream. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. Let's see. This uses the same graphics or same engine like Fallen Enchantress. It shares it. It started off as the same engine a very long time ago, and the graphics have been completely redone.
Yeah,
short
all
answer
the graphics
there. There are some few, like I think there's like some spell icons and stuff that are the same. Yeah. But even those we've been trying to go through and change and make sure that we're not, the last thing we want to do is make this feel like a
it shouldn't feel like a skin.
It should not feel like a skin. There we go.
Okay, walk past him.
4 in LH, 5 with Paradin. Alstein has my back on that. Okay. Thank you for that. It's very important to have Heart of Fire and Blessing of whatever and Blessing of whatever else and create, dudes that just murder everybody. That's very important. Nice shadows from the flapping wings on the Archon. Thank y'all.
Oh, thank you.
Will there be undead units and necromancer spells? I love to play necromancer style. There are undead units and necromancer spells. Yes. People have asked for a necromancer hero or hero or sovereign type.
I think we kind of decided that any of that kind of stuff kind of goes under the tyrant.
Right, and he's got a fair number of that, or a fair amount of that. Mm-hmm. And the necromancy stuff is pretty cool. You could free skeletons are free or basically free. Yeah. Kind of throwaway troops in combat, which are neat. He's got the skeletal army thing.
Oh, yeah.
is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Tyrant would be your best bet for playing as like a necromancy type.
Tyrant's pretty much always your best bet. Tyrant's the best. That's just a jam. So yeah. So what else are we showing today, Scott?
Let's see. We can go through.
I've actually got caught up with the questions. I didn't think I was
Cool.
going to.
Let's see. So, we're back after a Christmas break, so.
Sorry. No, Paper Dinosaur is cracking me up in the chat. He says, I guess turning people or yourself into a duck is sort of like throwing a fireball. Yeah, dude. It is totally like throwing a fireball. I'm all in favor of duck transformations. I don't know. Well, like I said, probably DLC.
Oh, yeah. Look at all these essence points. Yeah, what do we have working downstairs? We have a new quest screen that may be going in for beta 4.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, there's just so much
Brad's
going
been
on.
annoyed with that quest screen forever.
Yeah. So quest screen, minor faction screen, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
pop up when you talk to minor factions, as well as when the Sorcerer King actually comes to you. We've discussed separating out the lieutenants to. It's just a design possibility, but one of the concerns right now that pops up is that you kind of have a cool build up to the end. You have a cool end game. You have a cool, an interesting exploration phase in the front, but there's this somebody called a death lull. You know, where in the middle, it's like you're trying to get to the end and to something to punctuate that. And so what we're thinking is having a couple events that actually trigger the lieutenants appearing. So instead of them appearing turn 1 and you just kind of have to know to go out there and get the key, actually turn the hunt for the lieutenants into like the big Act 2 thrust. And so actually introduce new spells, new events, new stuff that's central, that kind of put that hunt for those lieutenant guys at the center point.
That sounds awesome.
Because it really is Act 2. I mean, you need the key to get to the end boss. So,
I love the idea of
we
making the lieutenants more interactive too, instead of
Yeah,
just kind of being dudes that are out there. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
right
I gotta
now
go find
there's-
it with my stack and go stomp on it.
So if we can, do something clever with them for that middle section, making it kind of all about them, then that would be super rad.
That would be super rad. Duck DLC, so like horse armor, but you get duck armor instead. See, I kind of think we need to hire this guy. Darkdun02 is asking about is writing a sort of pan to Fall from Heaven 2, which of course is the great Civilization 4 mod. And yes, Derek Paxton is indeed the guy who made that, and he is the head of Stardock Entertainment. He runs the game studio here. So he is involved on some level with all of our games because he runs the studio. He's not day-to-day on Sorcerer, but he certainly consults and there's plenty of Derek ideas in Sorcerer King for sure.
Lots of the like for every single tree that we come up with, we'll sit down with Derek and run him by, and he'll give us ideas on how to improve, and always great ideas. I feel so dumb around.
You remember the auto resolve thing that Brad was talking about a while back, or that came out of some design discussion?
Yeah.
Is that actually on the production schedule? Do you know?
Somewhere it may have gotten knocked down a little bit to make room for other things, other miscellaneous fixes. But I know that the rounds are definitely in, and they will be in beta 4, and that's going to be a huge change in just how you manage enchantments and cooldowns. And wow, are you seeing that?
Your Archon getting owned?
No. There was like some sort of weird artifacting effect. I didn't know that was just me.
I don't know. Poisoned Archons look a little bit weird. The poison particle is just kind of hanging out below him, like he's hovering on a poison cloud. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the Tinkerer, which I'm gonna get Brad to agree to rename it the Tinker. I'm gonna make this my mission. Because Tinkerer is just weird. I'm telling you. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tinkerer.
They're already on your side. Don't amass your army.
What? No.
How dare you?
I don't know. Like they disagree with me pretty regularly, except for about ducks. Like everybody's pretty much on the duck train. I think. Oh man, Paper Dinosaur is asking about bosses having a political system like Shadow of Mordor. That would be awesome.
Oh my goodness.
That would be so awesome and so very out of scope.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it would be really cool, but it would be a ton of work to get it. It's just
so
not
amazing. I mean,
it's really cool. I'm a
not
huge
here, but
I'm a huge Shadow of Mordor fan.
I can appreciate the request.
Absolutely. Yeah, I played the heck out of Shadow of Mordor. I was really surprised. I was really impressed by their PC port. It was really good too.
Oh, good.
They did a good job.
Yeah.
You don't always get a good PC port of the big, AAA action game games.
What was that system called? The
Nemesis.
Nemesis system.
Yes.
I was just impressed. I mean, that was a big thrust to get interactive storytelling. I don't know, done right. Like I think it was Ken Levine who said, it presented a story that could only be told in video games. Where every single the story would heal itself basically based on what steps you took. It was just really, really interesting to see done in such a great way and with such an awesome IP. I mean,
yeah, no, they did great. I love. But
the answer is
no. The answer is no. The answer is totally no. Expansion maybe. There you go. That would be a cool expansion.
Oh,
actually.
that'd be.
We should get the game out first before we have an expansion.
Yeah,
too much.
We gotta focus.
I think we've shown what we got. We will be back next week with hopefully some more stuff. Maybe crafting. Is crafting going to be in for next week?
I bet you it will be.
You think so?
I think it's wrapping up today.
Nice.
So
I'm excited to see the crafting.
And you guys can see what kind of augments and crazy stuff you can do to.
Because that's going to change the game a lot too, which I'm pretty excited about.
Lots of things coming in that are going to change the game.
Sweet. So hopefully we'll have that to show you next week. I'm going to leave this with the final and possibly best duck suggestion that we've had, which is that duck armor could go on a necromancer. He uses corpses to summon ducks instead of undead.
What did he call it?
Duck armor.
Oh,
it's the duck armor DLC.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought he called it like duck romancer.
Duck romancer. That sounds like somebody with an unhealthy interest in ducks. Awesome. All right. Gilmoy clearly wasn't paying attention to the stream and so should be publicly shamed because he asked when will Beta 4 be released. It'll be released late this month, early next month, something like that. I got that. We don't have a date yet.
I have a new tornado effect.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Do you have it in? Can you show it off right now?
I believe so. Let's see.
That'd be a good one.
Because last week.
Oh, missing spell portraits. No.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, last week we had that. He used it tornado, and it was like the tornado from. It was like the first spell effect that we made for. So. We got something a little better.
Totally better.
It needs to be bigger, but at least it's not what.
We need to fix that X icon too. That's old.
Yeah. That's
old and doesn't fit with the UI. I'm sure Jenna sees that.
Okay, I'll hide that. What X icon?
Well, it's not her fault. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Glad you could join us here in the new year. We will have Sorcerer King coming at you every week. Beta 4 coming soonish. Definitely hit the forums. The forums are great. Like Brad's on the forums all the time. The team's on the forums all the time. They are probably your best spot, honestly, to get up to the date Sorcerer King stuff. But we have stuff to show every week theoretically as well. So thanks, everybody. We will see you next week. Happy New Year.
Yes.
Welcome back. Hope your break treated you well, or if you're still on break, that it continues to do so. We'll see you later.